credit to my normal background in Wikipedia, and I will be the first to admit that I am in no way, shape, or form paying as much attention to this build up to WrestleMania as I normally do. But holding a YouTube channel and a wrestling one at that, I feel like I am doing this. I feel like I'm doing my channel a disservice by not doing any sort of content as we approach our Super Bowl. As we approach the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, where all eyes are on professional wrestling and specifically Vegas for WrestleMania. I know inactivity has been the tall the choice of words for me, and I know showing up, not showing up, showing up, not showing up, it seems to be when I have something to say or something to share, that's when I reappear. But I'm going to try and take advantage of this opportunity and post my second video in over a year. Because even though I may not have been watching every episode leading into every episode of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown leading into WrestleMania, I still have an opinion that over 26 years of watching professional wrestling has afforded me. 28 years, actually, to be more exact. But we're going to break it down one step at a time, starting with a couple of sites that I never thought I'd see heading into WrestleMania. And that is, I never thought I'd see AJ Lee on a WrestleMania card ever again, let alone in an Intercontinental Championship match against Becky Lynch. Look, in all honesty, I can say, I would be the first to say this year, this build-up has not felt like WrestleMania. It's felt different. WWE has had a lot more critics than normal. It feels like they've been popping out of the woodwork left, right, and center. Justifiably so, in my opinion, because WWE is overcomplicating a simple thing. Sort of like they did last year with John Cena, but again, the critics are going to come out in droves. The critics are going to come out in droves. But AJ Lee is a sight I never thought I'd see on a WrestleMania ever again. Rusev on a WrestleMania is a sight I wasn't sure I'd see again. A Twitch streamer like I Show Speed on a WrestleMania is a sight I never thought I'd see. Period. The Bellas at a WrestleMania, once again, not to sound so trivial and not to sound so one-sided, but I never thought I'd see it. There's going to be critics, as there will for AEW's biggest show, as there will be always for Wrestle Kingdom. But there's always going to be Monday morning quarterbacks, no matter the circumstance. There's going to be people that say they could have kept it simple, but honestly, I'm just going to put it out there. There could have been worse than Pat McAfee, and I think Ted DiBiase Jr., no offense to Jr., that would have been worse than Pat McAfee, because you'd be playing too much into the legacy and not the history I also want to point out that the fact that Gunther has retired two of the biggest stars of our generation in John Cena and AJ Styles, and the best they could come up with as an alternate for him retiring Rey Mysterio is him jumping into the Paul Heyman Seth Rollins feud and feuding or fighting Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. The fact that they didn't have a secondary backup plan for one of the hottest heels in the company is ludicrous to me. I I look at this show and say overall it does feel like WrestleMania. It just feels different. That's all I'm saying. It just feels different. This is not a prediction. This is another I never thought I'd say because earlier today, I know a lot of people are probably right there with me. I know a lot of people are probably right there with me in seeing the tweet from earlier today from The Undertaker. Or the X post, I guess you could say, from The Undertaker that reads, nothing about this because for whatever reason it's not showing the updated posts. Well, because it's his fan page and not. No, that is. But The Undertaker posted on X earlier today that it will be El Grande Americano versus the original El Grande Americano in a Max versus Mask match. The fact that Taker, of all people, the fact that The Undertaker, of all people, is the one announcing a Mask versus Max match for AAA. You know what? Let's go here and see if we could find the update. The Miz is going to be joining Michael Cole for. Here we go. The Miz is going to be joining Michael Cole for the Hall of Fame induction. And as we wrap up this video, we look ahead to WrestlingInc.com and we look ahead to what I just said. Circle the date on your calendars. Mask versus Mask will take place at AAA Noche de los Grandes on May 30th at Arena Monterrey. This will unquestionably be intense. The fact that The Undertaker is announcing a match for AAA is crazy in itself, but the other part of it is that El Grande Americano, that was brought up as a joke, is now one of the hottest feuds in AAA down in Mexico. It has made both El Grande Americanos stars. And the heat, the hatred, the energy. If you haven't seen it, that, my friends, is a WrestleMania build-up. That, my friends, is a WrestleMania match. And that, my friends, is going to tear the house down on May the 30th in AAA. Mask versus Mask. El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano. Who will still be wearing a mask at the end of it? We got a month and a half for more build. We got a month and a half for more anticipation. And with what we just saw between those two men, if you haven't seen it, look it up. The intensity was on another level at a recent event between those two. And I don't know how it's going to reach another even further level or where it's going to go from here, but the fact is, the heat, the hatred, the energy, this is going to be the most amount of eyes on a AAA card in decades, in my opinion. And this is going to be this is going to highlight the reason why WWE spent the money to purchase the company. But it is surreal that Undertaker announced it. It is surreal that El Grande Americano and the original El Grande Americano are this hot down in Mexico, and all this is allowing it to fly under the radar because 4 days from tonight is WrestleMania. What a time to be alive.